Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're looking at something super interesting. It's the connection between artificial intelligence,
AI.
yeah, exactly, AI, and spiritual intelligence.
It's pretty wild to think about, right? All this incredible stuff happening with technology.
Like it's changing so fast.
Yeah, and at the same time, more and more people are realizing how important it is to have inner wisdom.
To be more self-aware and all that.
Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of like this push and pull between the outer world and the inner world.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's start with AI. What is artificial intelligence exactly?
Well, basically, it's when we create computer systems that can do things we usually think of as human intelligence.
So like what, give me an example.
Okay, so you know how on Netflix or Spotify you get those recommendations?
Yeah, like because you watch this.
Exactly. That's AI.
Yeah.
It's looking at tons of data to figure out what you might like.
It makes sense. And what about self-driving cars? That's AI too, right?
For sure. It's all around us now.
It really is. And AI is changing too, right? It's not
Right.
just like basic programming anymore.
Right. It's way more complex now.
So how has it evolved?
So in the beginning, it was mostly algorithms, just sets of rules that computers followed.
Okay.
But now we have machine learning, which is way more advanced. Now systems can actually learn from data and get better over time.
Wow. So it's like they're teaching themselves.
In a way, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Makes you wonder what's next, right? But okay, let's shift gears for a second and talk about this idea of spiritual intelligence.
Okay.
How does that fit into all of this?
So spiritual intelligence is all about connecting with that deeper part of yourself. Tapping into your inner wisdom, your intuition.
So it's not just about being smart or even like emotionally intelligent.
No, it goes beyond that. It's about knowing your values and finding meaning in life.
It's like figuring out your purpose and what really matters to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. That's really interesting. I mean, it seems like it's becoming more and more popular now.
Yeah, it is, which is interesting considering how technology-focused our world is.
Totally. I mean, AI and spiritual intelligence seem like complete opposites. Like they wouldn't go together at all.
Yeah, a lot of people think that, like they're competing or something.
Yeah.
But it's actually more complicated than that. There are some big differences between them, for sure. Things that are important to understand.
Okay, so let's break that down.
Mhm.
What are some of the key differences between these two types of intelligence?
One of the biggest is how they deal with information.
Okay.
AI is all about data and logic. It's all algorithms and calculations.
Like a supercomputer.
Yeah, exactly. But spiritual intelligence is more about intuition and feeling.
More about that gut feeling you get.
Right.
Interesting. So AI is thinking and spiritual intelligence is feeling.
Kind of. And that leads to another big difference where they get their knowledge.
Okay.
AI uses external sources, huge data sets and algorithms made by humans.
It's like learning from outside information.
Yeah, exactly. But spiritual intelligence is about looking inside yourself.
It's more like self-discovery then.
Yeah, finding wisdom from within.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
And so AI is all about the external world, and spiritual intelligence is about the internal world.
You got it.
Are there any other major differences?
Well, another key one is how they approach ethics and emotions.
Okay, how so?
Well, spiritual intelligence is really connected to our values, our sense of right and wrong. It emphasizes things like compassion and understanding.
So it's about being a good person.
You could say that AI, though, even though it's powerful, doesn't have that built-in moral compass.
That's a good point. I mean, as AI gets more powerful, we really have to think about the ethics of it all.
Absolutely.
Like, does it align with our values?
Yeah, that's a big question. But I'm curious, is it all about differences? Could there be any similarities between AI and spiritual intelligence?
Now, that is a great question. I mean, it can't just be one versus the other, can it?
You're right, it's not about choosing sides.
So maybe they could work together.
Exactly, it's about finding ways for them to complement each other.
Okay, I like that. Instead of AI versus spiritual intelligence, it's AI working with spiritual intelligence.
Yeah, like a partnership.
Now, that's where things get really interesting, I think. But we're going to have to pause here for now, but we'll be right back to explore how AI and spiritual intelligence are already working together. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. We're picking up our conversation about AI and spiritual intelligence.
Right, and before the break, we were talking about how these two things could actually work together.
Yeah, instead of being at odds.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so fascinating. Like, usually when we talk about AI, it's all about efficiency and automation.
Making things faster and easier.
Exactly. But could AI really support something as deep and personal as spirituality?
That's the question, isn't it? Can AI help us understand ourselves better on a deeper level? I mean,
Kind of a mind-blowing idea.
it is.
So how could AI, something that's, digital, help us connect with our spiritual side?
Okay, well, imagine AI that can analyze like your thoughts and your emotions and even your behavior over time.
So, like, it's tracking all that.
In a way, yeah, and then it could give you insights into your strengths and weaknesses.
Interesting. Could it tell you things about yourself that you don't even realize?
Yeah, like patterns in your behavior that you're not even aware of.
Wow. It's like having a digital therapist almost.
Kind of, but for your spiritual growth.
So, are there any actual examples of AI being used like this?
There are some platforms that use AI to analyze like your writing style or your social media posts.
And what do they tell you?
They can give you feedback on your personality and your emotional tendencies.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty new, but the potential is huge.
It makes you wonder what kind of insights AI will be able to give us in the future.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, okay, let's talk about the spiritual side. How could AI help us connect with like a higher purpose or find more meaning in life?
Imagine AI that could curate spiritual teachings or practices just for you based on your beliefs and values.
So it would be like personalized spiritual guidance.
Yeah, like having a guide that knows exactly what you need.
Wow, that would be amazing. Especially for someone who's like searching for spiritual answers but doesn't know where to start.
Right. It could make a big difference.
So are there any AI systems doing this now?
There are some platforms being developed that connect people with spiritual communities and offer personalized meditation guidance.
Like an AI meditation teacher?
Exactly.
That's incredible. AI could make spirituality so much more accessible.
It really could.
But are there any downsides to using AI in this way? Like, what about the ethics of it all?
That's an important question. We have to be careful that AI doesn't reinforce biases or promote certain beliefs over others.
Right. It shouldn't be telling people what to believe.
Exactly. We want AI to be a tool for exploring spirituality, not controlling it.
It's like AI can offer us guidance, but it can't replace our own inner journey.
Right. We still have to do the work ourselves.
AI can point us in the right direction, but we have to take the steps.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so I'm curious about the bigger picture here. Could AI actually help us feel more connected to each other? Like on a global scale?
That's a really interesting thought. I think there's definitely potential there. Imagine AI-powered platforms that could facilitate dialogue between different cultures.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, and they could translate spiritual teachings from different traditions.
It's like breaking down barriers between people.
Yeah, exactly. AI could help us understand and appreciate different perspectives.
That would be amazing. Especially in a world that feels so divided right now.
For sure, AI could help us see our shared humanity.
And connect with the wisdom that's found in all spiritual traditions.
Right, it's about recognizing that we're all interconnected.
But of course, with any powerful tool, we need to use it wisely.
Absolutely.
It's not just about what AI can do for us, but how we can use AI to make the world a better place.
I agree, it's a responsibility we all share.
Right? AI is a tool, and it's up to us to decide how we're going to use it.
We have to make sure that it aligns with our values.
And that it serves humanity, not the other way around.
Exactly. We'll explore some more of these ideas after a short break, so stick with us.
Welcome back to our deep dive into AI and spiritual intelligence. We've covered a lot of ground, from the differences between them to how they can work together.
Yeah, and how AI can help us on our own spiritual journeys.
But what about the future? How will AI shape spirituality as it continues to evolve?
That's the big question, right? It's going to raise some really interesting questions about what spiritual practice even means.
Yeah, I mean, we already have these apps and online communities that are powered by AI.
Right.
Could they eventually replace real-life experiences or the need for human teachers?
That's a tough one. I think it's important to remember that spirituality is about connecting with something bigger than ourselves.
Something beyond us.
Yeah, and it's a very personal experience. Often it's about our physical experience, too.
So AI can be a tool, but it shouldn't replace that inner work, that connection with something beyond the digital world.
Absolutely. AI can guide us and offer insights, but it can't replace that inner journey.
Right, it can't do the work for us.
Yeah, exactly. Like AI can point us towards the mountaintop, but we still have to climb it ourselves.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
And as AI keeps evolving, are there even bigger questions we need to be asking?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, think about it. We're already seeing AI that can mimic human emotions.
And even create art and music?
Right. It's starting to blur the lines between human and machine intelligence.
That's kind of scary and exciting at the same time.
It is. And it makes us wonder, what does it even mean to be human? To be conscious?
Those are big questions.
They are. And I think as AI gets more sophisticated, it's going to challenge a lot of our beliefs about consciousness and reality.
It's like we're entering a whole new era of understanding ourselves and our place in the universe.
Exactly, and that's going to have a huge impact on how we approach spirituality.
So what do we need to be thinking about as we navigate this new territory?
Well, ethics is a big one. We need to make sure that AI is developed and used in a way that aligns with our values.
Right, it's not just about the technology itself.
Yeah.
It's about how we use it.
Exactly. What kind of future do we want to create with AI?
Do we want it to serve humanity? Or do we want to become slaves to technology?
That's the question, isn't it? I think finding that balance is going to be key.
The balance between the power of AI and the wisdom of our spiritual traditions.
Yeah, we need to embrace the possibilities, but also be aware of the potential risks.
So it's about using AI as a tool for good.
Exactly, for understanding ourselves better, for connecting with each other, and for creating a more compassionate world.
A world where technology helps us grow and evolve.
That's the goal, right? And it all comes down to our choices.
The choices we make about how we develop and use AI.
Technology isn't inherently good or bad. It's a reflection of us, our values, and our intentions.
So as we step into this future shaped by AI, it's up to each of us to decide what role we want to play.
Will we use it to create a better world, or will we let it control us?
It's a call to action, to be more conscious, more mindful, more intentional about how we engage with technology.
And to use it as a force for positive change in ourselves and in the world.
This has been such a fascinating conversation. Feels like we've just scratched the surface of this topic, but I hope it's given you some food for thought.
I hope so too.
And as you continue to explore the intersection of AI and spiritual intelligence, remember the most important journey is the one that unfolds within you. Thanks for joining us.